What music genre do you hate the most? Current country. Especially that stupid song about how he wants to go in the woods with his girl and check her for ticks in all the hard to reach places. I mean, who listens to this stuff? It's just so dumb. That background noise which plays in almost all radio stations and music televisions nowadays. It really is nothing more than that, background noise. I strongly believe that nobody really listens to that. They just turn the radio on to have something playing in the background while they do something. It's absolutely tasteless and without any meaning. Of the ones I'm even remotely familiar with, I gotta give it to country because this is what I picture first. My wife left me. My dog died. I wrecked my old pickup truck. But as long as I have you, dear whiskey, I really don't give a fuck ! And quat. Avant-garde fusion jazz. Why not just kill the audience flat out instead of torturing them to death with ungodly random shrieks and noises over 4 hours? Oh, that's right. It's a true art form for those who know how to regularly listen and quat. Bling rap. It's just rappers flexing money, mansions, and other valuable stuff you don't have. And most of the bling rap song treat women like objects. I'd also say modern pop. It's not that bad as bling rap, but I feel like no one actually listens to the popular songs and only uses them for ads. Reggaeton is a slap in the face to what music can and should be. The simplest, most generic, predictable, overused beat/rhythm ever. From a music production viewpoint, the modern day artists that utilize it, Daddy Yankee, J Balvin, Bad Bunny, etc., make it overproduced and super robotic and compressed. I hate it with every fiber of my being. Also fuck country. What are some albums that have 0 bad songs? The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, David Bowie. I'd pick the Eminem Show. That's definitely one of my all-time favorite albums. Weezer Blue Album, Mad Villain, Mad Villainy, Bob Marley and the Wailers, Exodus, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. First ones that came to mind. Ken by Peel Jam, Rumors Fleetwood, Dark Side Pink Floyd, Bad Michael Jackson, Thriller Michael Jackson, OK Computer Radiohead, Back in Black AC/DC, Honorable Mention, Tenacious D movie soundtrack. For me personally, Stadium Arcadium by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. 28 songs. And no filler. It's also my favorite album by the band. Next to Blood Sugar Sex Magic. SP, Siamese Dream, Weezer, Blue Album or Pinkerton. Whichever tickles your fancy. Honestly, there are a lot of alt-punk albums that I wouldn't even put in my top 10. But on which every song is decent at worst. That genre seems particularly amenable to such albums. My first album and the one that I still think is perfect from start to finish is Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms. Maybe not every song is a banger, but every song is in its perfect place in the album, which adds flow. I think Crime of the Century by Supertramp. Everything just feels so succinct and well constructed. It doesn't waste your time at all. Take This to Your Grave and From Under the Cork Tree by Fall Out Boy. Bit niche. But Almost Here by the Academy is. Nin the Downward Spiral. People argue that Big Man with a Big Gun doesn't fit well with the album, but I disagree. If you really pay attention to the album as a whole, it fits with what's happening to the fictional character portrayed in the album. What is your worst fear the older you get? My fear about how I'm going to get older is how I may not have many people close to me that once were, and I won't see many of them as much as I do, and most of them would probably go on to have their own lives, and someday will probably even forget that I even exist at all, and that we would all be way too busy focusing on our own lives we'd barely have time to see one another. 1. Climate change. 2. Dying before my son is an adult. My parents were 33 years older than I am. And they have both passed, my mom when I was just 25. I am 38 years older than my son, and I have a massive history of heart disease in my family. So I take care of myself, but I still worry. My fellow Gen Xer Luke Perry dying of a stroke at just 52. Unchecked climate change wakes me up in the middle of the night. It might sound stupid, but never finding the love of my life. I'm 31. And these upcoming 10 years are going to be the most nervous time in my life. I feel this pressure to be as lucky in love as other women around me. In case I fail. In 10 years other women, including my close friends and myself, will think I'm a loser and pity me. Considering how rarely I like someone and feel emotional connection. It's all complicated. Just dying. Like in any situation. I worry how my friends and family will find out. How fast. And how bad it will affect their mental health. My friends aren't necessarily the most trauma-free bunch of people. And worry if this will push them off the edge. I don't like the thought of dying. Not because I'll be dead, I believe in heaven. So I'm not too worried, but because of how it will affect the ones I love. Especially my BF. He's been through a lot and I don't know how well he'd be able to handle his GF dying. Should I be concerned that I have to rock back and forth violently for 30 to 60 minutes every night? I did this my whole childhood. 24M. Never saw anybody about it or anything. What ended up making me stop was nights I would sleep around other people. I didn't do it because I knew it would make me look like a freak. And eventually I just stopped doing it altogether several years ago now. My brother used to do something like this. We called it bonking his head. Basically, he would lie flat on his stomach and lay his head on his arms that were folded over his pillow. And he would bounce his head up and down while humming to himself. Usually did that for 10 to 15 minutes till he fell asleep. He stopped doing it around high school. And he's not autistic. Nor does he have any mental issues, just developed a strange habit as a child and kept with it. It sounds like a self-soothing behavior. My friend's young twin brothers used to rock back and forth on the couch. We called it thumpers and they actually trashed a few couches as toddlers, the backs of them anyways, as they were quite enthusiastic. They outgrew it. But I suspect maybe your rocking started as a self-soother. Might not hurt to talk to someone about it. But I don't think it is dangerous per se. A professional might be able to suggest healthier substitutions. Not that I think it's unhealthy. But you're concerned about it, so I'd check it out. My brother used to do this. He would lay on his back with his arms tucked beneath him, behind his back. He would rock side to side really loudly till he fell asleep. Then, after a few hours, he would wake up screaming because he had nightmares that someone cut off his arms. Lol. They went numb because he was on top of them. Apparently, he stopped having to do that. He got married. And we asked his wife if he still rocked in bed and how she felt about that. She said he did not do it.